Hey booktube! Please can we ignore my crazy hair for the time being. I bleached my roots so they're looking great, but also the rest of my hair turned silver, so yeah, I'm already getting this reading vlog off to a good start. So it is Sunday, we're now a week into Medieval-athon, and I have still not yet read even one book. The book I'm currently reading is The Curse of Chalion by Lois McMaster Bujold, and it's so good. Like, it's honestly such a good book, but like, I have to move and put my phone on, it's too hot. It's a small book and like, it's only this big, but like, every damn page looks like this, and I'm not really complaining about it because like, I love the story and I love the writing and I love the characters, but man, is this book super dense. Like, it looks like a small book, but there are so many lines of text per page. It's like really crammed in there, and there really aren't any pages that are a lot of dialogue, or like, essentially the book does not waste paper. There are very few pages that have like enjambment for dialogue or like breaks between paragraphs. It's very dense. And this is just short of 500 pages, and I've kind of been giving it my full attention. This book requires me to do a lot of like mulling over, and there's a lot of times when I just want to stop and appreciate the story or the characters or something that's been said, and it's not really a book that you can just like rush through, I guess. I mean, maybe you could, but I have really been enjoying taking my time with this, and I realise I'm kind of not leaving myself a lot of time to read the other 6 books on my readathon TBR. But I don't know if you can see, I have like 40 maybe pages to go left in this book, and I thought what I would do is I would set up and I would film myself reading the end of this and then moving on to something else, and I just kind of want to start giving like, I don't know, I just felt like doing a reading vlog, so that's kind of what we're gonna do. So I just finished my first book, and I honestly feel kind of sad to like not be reading this anymore. I'm trying to figure out a rating in my head, but I think this is like the best book that I've read so far this year, which is just, honestly, I just loved reading this so much, like especially towards the beginning. I love this book so much. But yay, I'm finally a peasant now. I can't remember what other prompt this book was supposed to tick off, because I suppose it's kind of a thick paperback, and it is yellowed, and a character does fight for the throne. I can't remember if there were assassins. There were definitely mercenaries. Like, okay, look. I'll have to go through and like figure out what the hell I was counting this for later. The main character of this book is by far one of my new absolute favourite book characters just of all time. He's just so... I need to compose my thoughts before I like try and explain them, but all you need to know, I suppose, is that I love him so much. He is just he's such a good character. He's such a perfect character. I can't do this because I will just babble. I will just absolutely babble till the end of time. I really wish I already had the second one to read, but I don't, and it's like it's just over a week until my next payday, so I'm possibly not going to have the next one until yeah, this was such a fantastic book though. I think I'm gonna go on Goodreads and add it to my yearly goal count, and give it a rating, and just I really liked reading this book. I'm so glad that I picked up this book this month. I'm maybe not so glad that it took me until now to finish reading, but like, it deserved all my attention and all my time, and I don't think I could have sped through this and enjoyed it as much. Like, I needed to give this book all of my time. I need book 2. So I think I've gone with a tentative rating of 5 out of 5 stars, which makes this my first 5-star read of the year, and my first 5-star read in a really long time. I just love this book. It's really great. I honestly wish there was so much more of this character, but I think he's only in like 2 books by this author, so I need to read the second one, but I also don't want it to end. So I think the next book I'm going to read, for the readathon I definitely have a little bit of catching up to do, so I think the next book I'm going to read is the shortest book on my TBR, and this is Hard in Hightown, so I think I'm going to read that next. It's only like, I think it's like 75 pages, but there are like illustrations in here, and I know some of them are like full page as well, so it's definitely less than 75 pages if you don't count the illustrations. So I can definitely read this just this afternoon, and then I can maybe be not so far behind in the readathon. So I'll put that there for now. But what I think I'm going to do first is I really need to sort out my hair. I do love that it's white, and I did love having like this beautiful silvery white hair for such a long time. I feel like I'm speaking to my main channel now because all I do there is talk about hair, but like like this is such a pleasant silver colour, and like it used to be really hard for me to maintain this colour, and now it just happened accidentally, and I kind of feel like I want to leave it this way because I really like the colour, but also a lot of me is telling myself to dye my hair half pink and half blue. So I feel like some serious hair dyeing might be on the agenda for today, so I can't really read and dye my hair at the same time, so I think I'm going to take a break and I'm going to mull over the events of Chalian in my head, and then I'm going to come back and possibly read all of Hard in Hightown. But like, I'm just having a lot of thoughts at the moment about books. This is a great reason why I cannot read books while dyeing my hair. So now that my hair's all dyed, I finished reading Hard in Hightown, and as much as I like Dragon Age, I only rated it 2 stars just because, one, it is a short story, and it's also like a story based within a story while also making constant references to the like source material, but in like a very sort of like nudge, like, do you get this sort of way, which like is fine. It's like quite fun to get all the references and be back in Kirkwall, but like the story was really linear and definitely secondary to just, I guess, the fandom aspect of it all. So I gave it 2 stars, which means that I did like it, but like it was a short story. It wasn't really anything special. So it's about 5:30 and I do have some like video editing to do, but I think I'm going to make a start on Wicked Saints as my next book, and I've heard that this was inspired a little bit by Skyrim and that it's like snowy and cold and dark, so I'm kind of feeling it. Also, can we just take a minute to appreciate how neat I got my parting when I dyed it? Like, I did this myself, and I'm pretty pleased that I didn't like bleed dye into each other. But I am hoping there's going to be sufficient bleeding in this book. I mean, like, there's a blood splat right here, so I'm hoping for that. Also, if you have not seen this book without its cover, like, I'm not a huge fan of the red, but I am a big fan of the quotes and the font. It matches my Medieval-athon chosen font pretty well. To stop what was just about to be a hopefully cute montage of me reading, because the very first thing in this book is one of my favourite things that books do. Like, I love it when books do this, and it's they have like up here like a little excerpt of another book before the chapter. But my favourite thing is when books do it with like fictional books from within the world. Anyway, back to my reading montage. It's me, from the future. So I never really like finished or rounded off my last vlog, so I just kind of thought I would come in now and just like do like an outro. So essentially, I finished Wicked Saints. I read this in about like 2 days. I started it on the Sunday night and I'd finished it by the Tuesday night. It was okay. I mean, I rated this like a pretty solid 3 stars. It wasn't really like as dark or as gritty or like as much of an epic story as I'd sort of hoped it might be. Aside from the fact that it really did feel like I was kind of reading like a Grisha spin-off. It was very similar in the whole white-haired orphan girl has potentially divine powers, and there is a like dark magic romance interest, and there was like the whole boy at the orphanage thing, and there's the like cocky prince guy. It's very similar. I don't think it was like specifically copying or anything though, like the story itself felt different enough. It just seemed to have like all the same sort of like major elements, especially because it's also like Eastern European, Slavic inspiration for the world setting. It just, not enough to make me think that the book was like actually like deliberately really trying to copy in any sort of way, and there were enough differences that like it didn't really bother me. It felt very similar. The other thing for me as well is that I can't really remember how old the characters were meant to be. I think the main girl, Nadia, I think she's meant to be like, I want to say like 17, but the characters read so young to me. I kept thinking that she was like 15, maybe 14. She's just, so yeah, she just seemed really young to me. She's very bland as a main character, I will say that. There wasn't that much of a personality, I don't know, I couldn't really connect with her, and I couldn't really like parse aside like what made her her, other than just she's the magical white-haired main character. I did like the two like male main characters. Malachis was fairly interesting. I liked him the most at the start of the book, but then he got like, he's just so one note that by the end of the book I think my favourite character is Seraphine at the moment. And like, I don't want to like rip on this book, it was fine, like I didn't dislike it, it was fine, and I'd definitely pick up the second one if it comes out soon enough for me to still care. I will probably talk about this book more in like a wrap-ups video or something, because this isn't meant to be like a review. But yeah, I gave it a 3 stars. I didn't dislike the book, and it only took me like 2 days to read, and like it's a pretty book, so it's fine. So yeah, this was a really uneventful reading vlog, but I suppose I'm now officially a knight for Medieval-athon, and I still can't remember like what like prompts I picked for each book, because I'm just really tired and I can't remember. But like, I must have some armor or weapons by now. So yeah, I guess sorry for like the really like uneventful reading vlog, but like, I mean, it was a vlog and there was reading, at least. So yeah, that is basically the end of this vlog. I just wanted to sort of like come in and just wrap things up, because it kind of ended a little bit abruptly otherwise. So yeah, that was it. Hopefully you guys liked this reading vlog. If you guys are doing the Medieval-athon as well, let me know in the comments like what books you guys are reading and how many you've read so far. So yeah, that was it for this video, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, peace out.